Hello everybody, welcome to this English lesson with me, Angel Aprilia Panjaitan from English Education Department, Universitas Kristen, Indonesia. Okay, in this lesson, you are going to learn about letter writing. Have you ever written a letter to your family or to your friends? If yes, what do you usually write for? Okay, we know before we write a letter, we have to decide the purpose of the letter. There are two types of letter writing: formal letter and informal letter. Formal letter is used for professional purposes, while informal letter is used for personal purposes. Okay? Now let's have a look to this letter. This letter was written by Maria for Aprilia. We can see this letter is written message between friends that have not seen each other in a long time. So, can you guess what kind of letter it is? Exactly, this is a personal letter, because this letter is used for personal purposes. So in this lesson, you are going to learn how to write personal letter, and you will learn the structure, the linguistic features, and expressions used in personal letter. What is personal letter? Personal letter is a letter that is written to people we know or close to us, such as for our friends, relatives, parents, siblings, and so on. Therefore, this letter is not only to give information, but to strengthen the bond between people who write the letters. Why do we write personal letter? Do you know? Personal letter is usually written for showing gratitude, giving advices, delivering good news or bad news, asking for help, and apologizing. Next, here we have linguistic features of personal letter. Okay, although personal letter is used for personal purposes, you have to still pay attention with the grammar used in your letter. Personal letter should be accurate in grammar. You have to write the sentences completely. In personal letter, you can use slang. In bahasa, slang means bahasa gaul that commonly used by native speakers or English speakers in informal conversations. There are so many English slangs. You can find it easily in Google. In personal letter, you can use contractions, and you have to use personal pronouns. Okay, the last, you have to use active voice in the sentences. Okay, do you know the difference between active voice and passive voice? Okay, active voice is when the subject in a sentence performs the action, while in passive voice, the subject receives the action. You can see this example to see the difference between active and passive voice. Okay, don't forget to use active voice, not passive voice. Okay, now please pay attention with the structure of personal letter. Personal letter should consist of address, date, salutation and name, introduction, body, closure, closing, signature, and postscript. You can see in this example. In order to make a personal letter, you can start by writing the address at the top right. Okay, in here, the address is showing the place where you are writing from. While at the top left, you write the date. This date shows when you wrote the letter. After that, you write the salutation or greeting and the person's name you are writing to. Okay, in here, in this letter, my dear lovely is the salutation, and city is the name of the recipient. So city should be written after the salutation. Then you open the letter in introduction. It usually starts by asking the recipient's condition, like, "How are you, sweetie?" Or "How's life?" It is like asking the condition of the recipient. Or if it refers to a previous letter, you can write, "Thank you for writing to me." Okay? And next, you write the content of the letter, that called as body. This is the main part of the letter. In body, you communicate the purpose of your letter, or you communicate what you want to write to the recipient. And you can see here we have the closure. It is the part which indicates the letter is going to end. We also have closing here. It is the complementary clause with short expressions such as "lots of love." It can be the word or phrase that conventionally appears before the sender's signature or name at the end of the letter. And you should put your signature as the writer here. At the end of this letter, you can write postscript. This is the additional note from the writer to the recipient. Okay, you can follow this structure in order to write personal letter. Okay, here we have some expressions that commonly used in personal letter. Okay, in salutation, you can use these expressions. In writing a salutation, you should start with these expressions, followed by the recipient's name. And it always ends with a comma. And you can also add hi or hello after that, like this example. How to start the letter? You can start the letter by using these expressions, like asking the condition of the recipient or showing your response to the previous letter. Okay. Next, you can convey the purpose of writing the letter. You can use these expressions. There are the expressions for showing gratitude, for giving advices, delivering good news, delivering bad news, asking for help, and apologizing. Okay, you can write these following expressions to show your reasons from writing the letter. And to conclude your letter, you can end it by using these expressions. Okay, these expressions are written on this as the closure. After the conclusion, don't forget to write the closing. You can use these expressions as the closing of your letter, like yours, lots of love, with love, sincerely yours, much love, all the best, best wishes. These expressions are written in here. Okay, we can choose one of these expressions as the closing. Okay, so there are some expressions that will help you to write personal letters. Okay, from this lesson, you have learned about the structure of personal letter, linguistic features of personal letter, and common expressions in personal letter. Okay, you can see this structure in order to write personal letter. I think that's all for this lesson. And next, we will do a practice to make sure that you have understood today's lesson. Okay, without further ado, let's get started.